Hello everyone and welcome back to Troubleshooter. Let me check if I'm recording. Yes, I am. So, this is the first Troubleshooter episode after my summer holidays, so we got a lot to talk about. Like I said in the previous one, that was a scouting try, then more than a regular try, and in this one, since the story's out of the bat and we don't need to watch it, let's get to the meat and potatoes. First off, the characters, the team, the masteries, etc. A lot has changed, and I'll tell you how I went about it. First off, I saw my roster and wrote to myself what is everyone's role currently. And I have found that a lot of roles were basically doubled by more than one character. Well, if it's doubled, then it is more than one. It were doubled. We had Albus, which was a frontline fighter dishing out damage, but we had Irene as a frontline dishing out damage, and we had Leighton as a frontline dishing damage, and we had Alyssa as a frontline dishing damage. We have Sion, ESP range damage crit, but we had Haixing range damage crit, but not ESP, and we had Giselle sniper range damage, etc, etc. You get my drift. So, I wasn't quite happy about it. At least not in the current setup we had. So, wrote what they do. Then I went to the office. I went to mission control. Picked the violent cases. Saw the list. We had a lot of new ones that I didn't do. I proceeded to do some ones like contaminated area, distribution center. Then abandoned cave, and that opened up the Draki's nest. I did the Draki's nest. I did the Golden Sand again, I did the Abandoned Supply Base again, I did the Iron Forest again. I did all of those first on easy. Then I wrote and remembered what type of enemies we're dealing with on easy. Then I went for a couple of missions on hard mode and wrote down what we saw on hard mode. Because when I was doing grinding on Magenta Street Marketplace, I was doing it on easy. But a couple of times I forgot to change the difficulty and I went into the mission on hard mode. And then I saw there are different additional enemies. Which got me thinking, what if every mission is like that? And I don't know about the lower ones, but at least the ones from Iron Forest Contaminated Area and beneath, everyone is different on a higher difficulty. On easy and on hard. I don't think it's every difficulty has a difference, it's not grading like that, but definitely is difference between easy and hard. Probably easy and normal is the same and hard and cruel is the same, I would guess, but I didn't check that. So yeah, I did those and I did some on hard, and for example Iron Forest Secret Base, not much point in doing it on easy, to be honest. We have hard enemies, even on easy. We have the Destrons. But we skip out on Ben, we skip out on a Necromancer, Gyro I think, we skip out on something else as well. So, I think we have less Destrons, one less Destron I think, or two less Destrons on easy. I don't remember. But I did it on hard 2 times and on easy 3 times, and I think I preferred it on hard. Anyway, I did that. Then after I did that, I got to the troublemaker list. I went and see what kind of people we have on the troublemaker list. I went to the higher ones, because I'm guessing this is the higher level ones, because I saw Wei, I saw Lee here, he's from the 46 level mission, etc. So I went here, and even if I didn't have them fully researched, I remembered what type of weapons they used, what type of abilities they used. For example, Atahad. I remember he had a sniper rifle and he was using that buff from the sniper, the cautious snipe. So I was thinking probably drop sniper stuff. And then I saw his masteries. After I defeated him a couple of times, I got the mastery information. So that's one thing. And I checked the rest. For example, you have Hansen here, which I don't have 100% information, but I know what type of weapon Hansen uses. I can see the masteries that he uses. If I don't see the name, I see the icons, and I say, oh, a sweeper type. So that's something for Hai Xing's class. So I'll definitely need to defeat him a couple of times. So, yeah, you get the drift. Then I do the mission when the guy is who I want to defeat. And I uncover masteries. Yep. I don't have any info on pens, but from what I can see, that would be something for Alyssa. So, need to defeat Ben a couple of times more. And then, after we defeat them a couple of times, we either get a lucky drop with a mastery, but depending on what we want, as you can see, the percentage is very small. Or we get information on it, and we unlock it in mastery research. And this is the most probable thing you would do, is unlocking it in mastery research. So, yeah, doing the missions on easy and hard, it's basically for this, for unlocking Troublemaker in Troublemaker lists, and for unlocking the masteries on mastery research. So that was one thing. Then, after I did a couple of those easy, I started to modify my team. And a couple of important things I did at first. First thing I did is switch on the individual masteries and saw what I had picked. For example, Albus had Windsword. This would be great. This was great at start because it upped our damage by 10%. But now I was, well, 10% does not equal much if it's only this. But I looked at the other ones, and responsibility, not good, because that means the target dodges or blocks our attacks. And I don't want them dodging and blocking too much. But then I saw Opportunist, and it says dodging or blocking gives me a buff, and I block a heck of a lot and dodge with Albus, so this actually stacks up quite nicely. It can stack up to 10 times, and each time you get hit chance, crit hit chance, attack damage, and speed, which is awesome. And 10 times gives us 10% attack damage, so yeah. Also, I went through everyone like that. That's the first thing. Second thing, equipment. I tried to look at the set items that I have and the set bonuses. And this is kind of important because, as you can see, golden. I have golden on a couple of my characters, and that's because the 2-piece set gives us immune to stun type debuffs. But you would say to me, hey, but why is that important when we have the veteran mastery? But I'll get to that in a moment. But I lost my train of thought. I'll get to the veteran mastery in a moment. So yeah, I analyzed the sets that I had and the bonuses and tried to integrate them in the character. And why is it important to have immunity to stun when I had veteran? And that's because support, where veteran goes, has limited slots. As you know, every type has limited slots, and if I can circumvent having one support ability using up 2 points with an item, then I will get the item, because it may be a bit, as you can see, worse than some legendaries that I have, but I can always level that for more armor. But the bonus is quite hefty, so there's always that. I can always level it. As for masteries, for Albus, and for everyone, what I did first was go through each mastery that I have, and for starters, delete those that I took at start that gave us 5 HP per level, 10 HP per level, 5% hit chance or 10% hit chance, or I don't know, 10% less damage when you're at 25% HP or less. I deleted those. Those could be good at the start, but when we're max level, they're basically useless. The only increased by a couple percent that I left are ones that fit into masteries, and that I also analyzed. So it's not that it's great, but the mastery that it gives could be useful. Alacrity isn't that hot, but, well, for starters, I don't have a better idea for now. I would need some more masteries unlocked here in the basic for Albus to switch this out. I don't know if I definitely don't have every mastery, so yeah, I think there's something better here. So I will think about that. Also, there is more than I can get in. I think I want actually blood first, because I do a lot of bleeding, and decreasing action time, why not? So, first off, I left this because there was a mastery. Second, I get Windroad, because I frequently run with my melee characters, especially at the start of missions when I need to get into position, and this will give me more wind SP, which is pretty nice, I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty nice, as Albus had problems generating wind SP, and if I run in to a enemy and slash him and walk more than 8 tiles, I get free wind SP. That's good. I got best condition, which is quite nice when he is at max HP, and when I top him off with Anne, he is quite frequently at max HP. Bloodthirst I gave him just now because I didn't have anything better to give, and there is a lot of bleeding that we do. Extreme speed. I like to have extreme speed on most of my characters when I can fit it, because 10 speed is nothing to sneeze at, you know? 1000 cuts. It's part of a mastery set and increases our hit chance per mastery, so it's kinda good. Have sharp blade, damage. This is part of a mastery and increases attack hit chance, critical hit chance, etc. This gives us armor break. This is good for enemies that have high block chance, and there's a lot of those. This one ups the damage, and gives us additional slash, which is pretty nice, not gonna lie. Then, for abilities, we have bloodshed, which gives us more chance of triggering a bleeding. Why not? But I think I'll switch those out. It's not a part of a mastery, because if something is a part of mastery, I put my cursor on it and look at the mastery set. It highlights it on yellow, so you can see which is a part of a mastery. So this isn't. I'll probably switch this off. Brazen Face and Self-Examination basically give us additional slots and give us increased capacity. So I wanted more in attack and basic. Honestly, I would want even more, but I need to see. Sharpening, more damage. Redthorn Sword, better bleeding. So yeah. And it's a part of Blade of Destruction set. As for support, move distance. I like move distance. But I think I will change it to something, but I need to think about why. Maybe something... no, support doesn't have any slot increasing ones, unfortunately. This one is something that I would like to get rid of, honestly, because it's not a part of a mastery set. No, it's running like wind. I was thinking of doing that, but I don't know. I'll think about that. Otherwise it's useless, because I don't have much wind abilities other than one buff and one movement skill. Tactical sense, increased block. Headwind is great because if we're being attacked in range, or even by close attackers, it decreases damage. It's especially good for those pesky range attackers because it decreases damage by 4% per tile of distance, so that's kinda awesome. Sword Manual is awesome because critical damage increases, and it's by 7%, which is a lot per one applied mastery, class mastery. We have Dazzling Blade, which is quite nice, and it's also part of masteries, which I will fill later on, because I need to work on Albus a bit more. From what I can see, he isn't finished. We have flexibility, we have some deflection, have evasion, which decreases damage, and the old second hardened counter. So Albus I'm not that happy about for now. I need to do some more finagling with him. But we have something that's called one strike, one head, and that's kind of awesome, because it actually, when you kill something, and he frequently kills something, it decreases the cooldowns of our abilities. So using that combo hit that I frequently use on him and deleting an enemy will decrease its cooldown. And it also increases our hit chance, and crit damage. Pretty nice. Also, one thing for the mastery sets. If you have a mastery set with a mastery that is unknown to you, but is one that you possess or you can research, sometimes when you go here, it says reinforces. And you're like, Dazzling Blade, no. Blade Deflection, no. But Blade Evasion, oh, we have Blade Evasion here. So maybe this one is weapon blocking. Let's see if I possess weapon blocking. Indeed I do. See? So this is how I actually uncovered some of the masteries. I looked it up here, it said what it reinforces, and I'm like, hey! Not so secret after all. Anywho, that's Albus. Scion. Scion, I need to give him the golden equivalent of what Albus has, because for the leather uniform wristguard sneakers side of the golden set, because the golden set is actually two sets. This side of the set gives us immunity to stun and melee damage, but there's also another one. I think I will show it to you. Sorry that I'm jumping around like that, but this will be a big help. This one, where do we have it? When we have the bangle, jacket, ring, boots, and wing charm, it actually gives us immune to silence type debuffs and gives us ESP bonuses. I need to get this on Anne and on Bianca, definitely. Thinking maybe at least two parts on Scion, because the immunity to silence is a big thing, especially since the rangers that we're refining now have reaction shots that actually give you silence. And that's nasty, especially on ESP users like Scion. Individual mastery. I had Hungry Wolf, but when they hit me, and this actually procs and I die, it's a high chance that I die right after that, so I thought it's not very useful. Cheerfulness. Increases SP if there's an enemy engaged in battle within your line of sight. Also increases maximum vigor and immune to mental debuff. The immune to mental debuff, not bad, but otherwise not very good stats. And then we had Bloodwalker. The only downside of Bloodwalker is it triggers if HP is below 33%. But if we survive and it is below, we get an awesome aura. It's awesome because it gives us drain HP when we put target out of action, and Scion is basically a one-hit KO character. It gives us extra bonuses to hit chance, crit damage, block, dodge chance, which is massive. So I went with Bloodwalker, because Hungry Wolf didn't trigger that often. And now we have Scion. Likewise, I ditched the basic increase by X, unless it was a part of a mastery, or I didn't have anything better to fit in. Those are not part of the masteries, but I honestly don't have anything better for now. Extreme speed is a must, like I said. Then I gave him some class ones. When I was searching for masteries to pick, I picked a class of a mastery, and the first thing I did on every character was get a look through all this list, whatever pages it has, and first off check the class masteries or the element masteries for that class, that character that I currently use. And those have priority because most of them are quite strong. For example, Great Wizard is awesome, increases vigor. Magic Library is awesome, decreases damage. Magical Reactor increases cooldowns. Magical Acceleration gives us this buff. And then I started inserting them, looking around what they do, inserting the better ones, and masteries came into view. So I filled in some masteries, I filled in the rest of the slots with supplementary things like break. Honestly, breakthrough isn't that good here, I need to change it. So close yet so far, because he's a range attacker. Magic Bash, slot increasing ones. This one actually is not that great, but I think it's a part of a mastery set. No, it's not. Need to pick a few. And yeah, resonance, etc. So you get the drift, you get how this is being done. The defensive ones on him are not that great, but it needs to fit here. I didn't have anything better to use. I still have some masteries that I want to look into, and I don't think it's his last form, because the basics I'm not that proud of, and I think abilities could use some work. I don't know if I need some of those, especially cool-headed or... Also, I changed his abilities. I had Furious Lightning Gale, but it only lasts 3 turns, so I didn't use it till it was basically right in a fight, and he was at the edge of the fight standing there, so I pre-buffed and then attacked. But then I thought, why not go for another ability, have a Flash Beam. I will check it out with a Flash Beam, because I frequently came into situations where enemies actually were standing in a line, so we'll see. If this doesn't work, I'll go back to the Furious Lightning Gale. But using a turn to pre-buff, I don't know if it's that the best thing I can do. Irene. For individual mastery, I left it at Justice for now, but honestly, this one seems like the best one. But its minus is that you can't have any allies within your line of sight at the start of your turn. So, situational. But if we manage to move Irene a bit on the sides, this would trigger, and this buff is awesome. Increases block by 15, dodge by 15, crit damage by 50, crit hit chance by 20, and speed by 15. It's awesome. Should be basically be at, what is it, 89% block. And this isn't even the best I can do with her. I can do better if I would have more funds to craft equipment, but I used basically about 30k right now or more, and I need to grind for some. So Justice it is for now. As for skills, abilities, I changed some, because I do like the Fireball to deal with some pesky snipers or rangers if I cannot run in with her. I have Sheer Drop because it's a dashing attack. I have Firewheel Carriage now because it's also a dashing attack and it's 2 attacks. Dashing attacks, I don't remember if it's dashing or jumping attacks. It's the same category, but if you look at my Let's Play and you see the clowns use that strange jumping attack with the hammer. And I noticed that if they do that attack, we do not counter. We do not do responsive abilities till they attack us and we survive, and only then we do a trigger ability. So it kind of bypasses the triggering ones like Forestallment, etc. Because when they jump, Alyssa didn't do the Forestallment frequently, so keep that in mind. And whoops, cancel. And I had the last one, which basically it's unblockable, and I use that often. So that is that. As for the mastery board, extreme speed, run is good. Extreme speed, like I said, we need some speed. Here, for example, some are situational, like Lord of Hatred. It's not bad, but I need to have missing HP. I used it because, not that it's astounding with that bonus, Irene does get attacked, so she does get missing HP, so she will make use of that, but most importantly, I saw the masteries, and for example, Flame of Vengeance makes Phoenix, which revives us, make us take the turn right away, sort of like Albus when he revives, and that's more awesome than the Lord of Hatred itself. And then we have the buff for the Lord of Hatred, which increases damage by 1% per fire masteries, which is a bit better now than the Lord of Hatred by itself. We have Enormous Flame and we have Dancing Flame. Dancing Flame is why I picked Roaring Blaze. So you can see, sometimes I pick an ability not because the ability itself is awesome, but because it enables a very good mastery set to take into activation. So keep in mind that. Irene isn't also finished like Albus because, like I said, Irene is a physical attacker, Albus a physical attacker, Leeton is. Where Leeton has a strictly defined role in my party, Albus and Irene are still in production, if you ask me. I have an idea, but I either don't have the full masteries that I want, or there's something missing for them, like pieces of equipment or something. So for now, this is them. Later on, it's quite possible they will change even more, so yeah. And I gave her the stun immunity through Golden Set. That way we don't need to use Veteran, that way we had more slots available. Now, Anne also needs the Golden Set for ESP users, so she won't get silenced. For her individual mastery, I left Sincerity, but this one is situational, it's not always night. This one is actually quite awesome, because it reduces casting delay and reduces the cooldown of our ability, but most of all, I don't use her to attack, I just use her to, well, clear the debuffs and heal, so, you know. As for her masteries, I'm still sure I don't have the ones that I would want to have. For example, we don't have something here, and I would love to have Devoting Love, because it increases chance of miracle activation, and Miracle is awesome. Miracle is a new one I started in. As you can see, it's quite nice. It gives bonus to healing or bonus when using support abilities. And that's basically all that Anne does. We have Alacrity, because I didn't have anything better to do. I left Body Training because it's not in any masteries, but I didn't have much better things in basic to give her. And that's what I said, she's a work in progress, because I am sure she has more class or better masteries in basic, but I simply don't have them unlocked, so left with that. Gave her Earth Magician to give her attack a little bit of a boost, since she frequently finishes off some targets. We have Willpower, Shaman. Willpower is actually in 2 mastery sets, as you can see. We don't have them triggered right now, because I don't have this, but I can currently research it. Interesting, it's probably First Aid. Oh. Really? Okay, so I will show you something. I can research it. Okay, I will show you something later. This is something else. Let me just go a quick look here. Can we do it? Yes. Huh. Let's see unlocked. This way I don't need to search the list. Okay. I thought I gave it a good look. It seems not. First aid is common. And a support one. It needs 2 TP and 1 slot. Honestly, her move isn't that important. But there's her hit chance isn't that important. I'll get that. See? And we have another mastery, which is very useful. And that's how it goes. That's how all the crafting of those abilities went. For attack we have further healing reinforcement. We have Blessing of Regeneration, which is awesome. I love Blessing of Regeneration. It's really, really awesome. Especially when you do an AoE heal with her overcharge. Awesome. I need to get rid of large top pocket. I will reuse this slot for either Brazen Face or Sophistry or Self-Examination. It depends on where I get better masteries. I have not much masteries for Anne. I need to check the Troubleshooter list and see what gives us White Mage masteries, actually. If I can search the list. I mean, I can search the list, but I need to check what gives us. We have Light of Redemption here. We have White Heat. Spirit Affinity. Nothing out of the ordinary. Now, Haishin. Doesn't have any sets. I gave him a weapon I had from Sanson, actually. It dropped. Not bad at all. Nice crit damage boost. Crit chance a bit low, we need to work on that. As for individual masteries, he has Precision Fire. Additional crit damage, additional crit hit chance. Good. For the masteries, as you can see, he still has those, but they're part of mastery sets. I left it for now, because those were survivability sets. And I don't have anything that great here for the basic ones unlocked. I still need to defeat Sanson a couple of times and some other gun users. They weren't that frequent when I was fighting, so I need to get more masteries. Other than that, I have our free dot and disable setup. Yeah, not much has changed with him. I gave him Machine Hunter, but honestly, don't think he's a great candidate for it. I need some better masteries, and that way I will slot some better things here. As you can see, some of them are quite nice, and I think I would prefer those to what I have. Need to finagle with this. I can do this, seems pretty nice. It reinforces the armor piercing ones. I need to finish this off. Ray. Okay, Ray. Ray, I left the graffiti. Graffiti is awesome. It removes all buffs from the targets, and the enemies frequently do get buffs. I have Arms Alchemy Spray because that's the best spray I can do, and not because I use the set. As for her, she has all the tossing bonuses, some mastery sets that give us additional bonuses when we toss, gives us some buffs, etc. Nothing out of the ordinary here, nothing to write home about as well. She's pretty nice, but yeah. Giselle. Giselle is a bit of a mixed bag. I have her as a sniper now, but for her, as well as for some other members, I did one thing. I created separate mastery boards and checked out their other classes. I like her Beastmaster, her Hunter class. I have a board here for it, but it's not complete. It lacks some masteries, sorry. The sniper one is more completed because I defeated a heck of a lot of snipers. There are massive amounts of snipers in the last missions, violent cases, so the sniper masteries were very easy to unlock. In contrast to the hunter masteries where there weren't a lot of hunters. But I did use her as a hunter to get a couple of beasties, which are pretty nice, and I used her as a support build because I had too much direct damaging builds. And let me say, as a support build, she is awesome. I'll tell you why later. Kylie. With Kylie, I went with the Machine Hunter as well. I gave her some class abilities. Unlocked a mastery set, but likewise, I don't have much hacker abilities, masteries unlocked. Need to unlock more. She is quite good. I changed her reinforced attack protocol to administration protocol. Administration protocol is awesome. It unlocks us all protocol abilities to use, and it gives them a couple of buffs, so I prefer that. Also have her weapon up to date, so her stats are a lot better than they were, and she can actually hold her own now, and she frequently finishes off enemies as well as can actually outright kill them with the attack protocol. Attack protocol has a couple of good points, which I'll tell you when we get to the fight. We're 35 minutes in and I still haven't finished. Lethan. Lethan has a clearly defined role in my party. His role is to stand in the fray and tank it. He tanks like a beast. He tanks like a beast, and he dishes out damage in counterattacks even better. He has things like Sentinel, which increases block chance. He has Overwhelm, which gives responsive attacks again. He has, where is it, counter attack, etc, etc. I removed all of his ice masteries outside of Ice Shield. Ice Shield reduces damage taken, that's why I kept it, but I removed all of those because I don't use any ice attacks with him. I use pure physical attacks. Have mastery sets like the Mountain, movement on silence, defensive tactics, offensive tactics, further increasing our block, further increasing our counter attack, further increasing our damage with our hits. So yeah, pretty awesome stuff if you ask me on Lethan here, and one of the characters that has the most defined role in my party. We need Acrobat because he needs to get that action time decrease somehow. He is still lacking here, but what can I do? Most of the time he'll be standing and just dishing out responsive attacks, so his action time will go down frequently, so nothing I can do about that. Also give him patience potions to increase that block a little bit further still. Bianca. I tried Bianca as a witch, and she's not bad as a witch, but I still don't have full masteries for a witch, so I changed her back to a black mage, and she's another black mage in the party and another ranged ESP user, so she's still in the making. Alyssa. Alyssa is the worst one now, because she's slow, can't do much to counterattack that. I need better gear for her, and also maybe better masteries. I don't have that much masteries unlocked, but for those that I have unlocked, we have adaptive combat stance, and that is awesome, especially on defense stance. It increases our block and reduces the damage taken further, so she's pretty tanky. I also use her for counter-attacking, as well as Lethan, and honestly that's the best way to get rid of those Destrons that I found. Just placing Lethan and her and letting them counter-attack them. Seems far-fetched, but it works for me. Now, we also have a few changes to Simon. I gave him some mastery boards, but I need to defeat more Destrons. I found out that Destrons have enormous amounts of modules on them, and I still haven't unlocked most of them. And I have a feeling that the modules on the Destrons, by fighting and looking what the Destrons use, those modules would be awesome, but I still don't have most of them unlocked, so Simon is still in the making. But look at here. See? Thing is, if you have Giselle as a hunter, you can tame beasts of the legendary variety. It should be somewhere here, or is it not? Not on this screen, I don't think. I think somewhere it's shown. Some are legendary beasts, and you can't tame them without an appropriate mastery that only the hunter class has. And those are some nice beasts. For example, Boogie here. Boogie is a spotted Neguri. And Boogie is... I didn't see it anywhere else, and I saw it when fighting him. A source of hero buff. And when the hero buff goes off, my god, does it give the enemy a problem. For 3 turns, you're basically on steroids, as you can see here. This is awesome. So, I tried using Boogie on my support build, and it was pretty nice, but Boogie actually pales in comparison to the Darkness here. The Darkness is a crab that I caught, and have a good look at the Darkness here. Nearly 3,500 HP. 1.6k attack. 1.7k armor. 1.5k resistance. Look at the physical resistances. The Darkness here is a beast in melee. He has also the Predator mastery. So when he finishes someone up, he's gonna heal a lot. He also has claw piercing ammunition for some range attacking, and he has grading, which is bonkers. It's an overcharge attack, but it does so much damage. It's my god, he's one of the strongest beasts I have. He's stronger than those legendary beasts. I also unlocked the trackies. This one is still in the making, so not much to show here, but I had a look at his abilities right now, and they were pretty fancy as well. So, yeah, enough of talking. Let's see if we can actually get this thing over with. Smokes, yep. Major healing, yep. Everyone is good, yep. I'm thinking maybe you will also get a... Where is it? Patience one. Because you can get healed by Anne. Anne has... I didn't show you that. One of the masteries is she has a chance to get a heal as a reaction ability. If your character is in range and he is being damaged, she can get a heal off as a reaction. It is massive. I had Anne or Leafen, not Anne, I had Leafen or Alyssa tanking Destrons. The Destron got somehow through their block, and wham! Anne healed the character up to full, Destron got smacked in the head, Destron was dead. So like I said, we're not looking at that, because we saw it. Now, second try. Let's see. From what I remember, there's a lot of enemies here. And they all gang up on you quite fast, so we want to actually concentrate our forces. We also want to scout around. We can. Now, lucky here. We'll change Alyssa to defensive stance right away. Yep. Bianca has Windwalk, and Bianca also has another quite interesting ability that I use frequently, and it's Illusion. Illusion lets you get rid of those pesky legendary, etc. boss enemies, if they're human. If they're human, you can switch this thing on. Oh, we saw an enemy. You can switch this thing on and basically neuter them, because they change to a little... I don't remember if it was a doll or a Neguri for a turn. And you nullify their block chance and evade chance like that, and you can smack them all around and they won't do anything. So they're basically dead right away. Which is kinda awesome, not gonna lie. Okay, let's run. Those guys do not need to survive, so we can leave them like this. Okay, so the fight is starting. quicker than I imagined. Now we will try to throw a smoke, but not with Albus. No. Damn, there's a lot of them, and they're quite quick on their feet. So we need to make haste as well. The Rangers are the most problematic guys here, honestly. Not the Slaughterers, not the Pycrons, the Rangers. The Rangers are, quite honestly, one of the most irritating enemies, aside from snipers. Okay, one, and as you see I used turn a new leaf because I want his turn to not end, and I still want him to punish those guys. Yeah, you can stand here, I suppose. As you saw, the damage wasn't that bad. Now, let's run. And let's set you up for a couple of things. A Starlight Prayer, so we can have a shield, which will nullify one attack. And I want a smoke there. I want a smoke. Yeah, for now it'll be good. Why I showed you a couple of attacks that did multiple hits, and I told you they were important because there are some masteries, especially on robotic type enemies, that decrease the damage dealt by one big attack, but they do not trigger if you do a lot of lower damaging attacks, and they stack. So that's one way to get rid of pesky enemies with pesky defensive masteries. Use a heck of a lot of attacks that are, well, heck of a lot of attacks. Use attacks that are multi-hit and stack those up pretty nicely. We'll get Bianca inside as well. Okay. Let's activate this. Can we? Yes, we actually can. So please go. Kamehameha wave. Why not? Now, Leafon, my man. So, Leafon still has warming up. And warming up, patience potion, Leafon tanks all day, every day. So keep that in mind. We'll use the bushes for additional defense. And we need to get here with Giselle so we can unleash the darkness. Because those guys need to meet the darkness. Because they're pesky. Oh, you. Now, as for the Bicron here, let's smack him. That one's done. Armor break is unfortunate. We need to deal with that sniper. Good thing we're inside that cloud. Now we have Ray. Ray dishes a lot of damage. Ray has also masteries that make cover have less effect. So they're pretty good. All in all, cover still is pretty bad when you're up against it and the enemies have those masteries that let them have additional bonuses, defensive bonuses, but Ray can work something with it, so not exactly all that bad, but still a thing to... yeah, as you can see, cover move, forgot about that. Ugh. Need to take that into consideration more often. Please go inside the smoke. Okay, we don't have view of her. That's pretty bad, but can we... Okay, no. Let's just stand by. Yeah, thought as much that the battle cry will go off. Battle cry is pesky, because battle cry reduces hit chance. One thinks it does, and we don't want that. Now, Leethan needs to start getting inside the fray here. Leethan needs to. Because Leethan is a force to be reckoned with, but... First things first, awaken. We also need to set up the mimic beacons with Kylie. That's also an important role she has. And now let's get the darkness going. Because someone needs to damage those human type enemies. Now... This is further than she can get away. And let's get one mimic beacon off. So we can take the heat off of our guys. If just for a moment. Easy there, easy there. And, see? He's stacking his buff already. Easy there, easy there. Let's see. Well. Dang it, silenced. I thought it would bounce and hit them. Need to get inside with a melee guy. That's why I told you the rangers are actually the worst ones. Okay, Mark is here already. Dang it. Need to take care of Mark. Now... Can we actually... No, Mark is still quite a bit of a way. Now, who is a candidate for shooting now? You. For now you are. Okay, you guys leave the darkness. Now Ray. Mark is pretty far away. Don't want to come close. Well, would want to come closer since Giselle needs some help here. And I can do this. And I can do this. Goodbye, Mark. I don't like you. Forgot about this part. Yuck, it was some time since I actually did this. Hope this won't bite me in the ass that much. Now, you guys. Bleeding is applied. Nice. Now, as for you... Can we hit? No, we cannot hit Albus. So let's first heal. Then we'll think about getting those debuffs down. Now, Leethan. Leethan, my man, you don't need to worry about them hitting you that much, so... Please. Get in there and start hitting. Okay, this is pesky as well. Not much I can do about that one now. But I can do this, which is still awesome. Now please die. Forgot about that one. Ugh. What are you thinking about, man? Just do it normally. Don't forget about stuff. Ooh, that was bad. That was quite bad. Let's delay him a bit. As you saw, Kylie is starting to pack a punch. So, don't worry about her not doing anything anymore. She's no more a mobile mimic beacon spammer. She's now quite a good attacker. Okay, darkness, my man. Let's get you inside here. See? Awesome. Unfortunately, he doesn't have any counters on him, so we need to deal with that. Now, Anne will move next turn and heal all you guys, because all you guys need something. Otherwise, you're debuffed and useless. Okay. And how about you? Great. Now, I was talking about Anne, and she's right next up. Ugh. Those chances here. Don't like those chances here. I would like a new smoke, just in case, on the backlines. Loved that quick shaving, loved it. Now, everyone is here, so everyone can get cleared. Destrons, hate Destrons, Destrons suck. Destrons are actually really sucky enemies to deal with. High amounts of block, really pesky abilities, and you can't damage them that easily because they have infuriating abilities to boost that. But we can destroy their armor and destroy their weapons, which will do something. Well, better than nothing. Now, you guys are good here, need to take care of this one. We'll leave him be since he'll die now. Now, Darkness, you need help. You kinda need help. We need a smoke here. Will it be enough? It is enough. So, that's done. Yeah, way. I defeated you a lot of times, so... I also actually need to summon Simon here. But that will have to wait. Okay, that's another target for the Darkness. The Darkness needs to target human enemies so he can heal himself. And that's the way he functions the best, so yeah. And now, since we're 57 minutes in, because I was talking about the masteries a great deal, we're gonna need to make a cut here, and everyone, let's hope this try goes a lot better than the previous one. So, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next episode. Thank you, cześć, bye bye.